Working together is bringing in more money to law enforcement in the Tucson area. The Tucson Police Department was recently awarded a grant by the U.S. Department of Justice for nearly $750,000. Reporter Micah Bledsoe spoke with the department and others in Pima County on this collaborative approach they are taking to tackle issues in their community.
Over the past 2 years, the Tucson Police Department, the Pima County Attorney's Office, and other agencies in the community have worked together to apply for grant funding to improve the community's response to sexual assault and domestic violence victims. More recently, they have focused on Spanish-speaking victims. 38% of Hispanic women in Arizona have experienced sexual violence at some point in their life, according to the CDC.
Currently, in the domestic violence unit, there are no Spanish-speaking detectives. Along with the sexual assault unit, there's no Spanish-speaking detectives.
Amelia Kramer, Chief Deputy Pima County Attorney, says domestic violence is pervasive and extremely epidemic in her community. Those in her office, along with others, have been looking for funding to fix this issue.
We want to make sure that they can talk to a detective who is fluent in their language so that they can better communicate with the victim about what risk she or he is facing for future violence, connect that victim up with services to provide emergency housing, counseling, support, child support, legal services, those kinds of things.
The grant awarded to the police department will be used to hire and train 2 new bilingual detectives who will work specifically on these types of cases. It will also help to train 10 sexual assault nurse examiners at Tucson Medical Center in strangulation protocols and the use of medical Spanish.
And it's really important when the detectives go out and speak with victims to have that empathy and to build a rapport with them because something traumatic has happened. And a lot of times when you have someone translating from a detective to a translator, then to the victim, it kind of can get lost in translations.
On average, the Tucson Police Department responds to 26 calls per day relating to domestic violence. That's more than 9,300 calls per year. The Pima County Attorney's Office and Tucson City Prosecutor's Office prosecute, on average, 5,000 felony and misdemeanor domestic violence cases each year. Sergeant Petty says the department works closely with Emerge to better serve the community.
Our detectives work really closely with the advocates and making sure the victims have all the resources they need and have rides to court and essentially just have an advocate on their side to walk them through the process of how to obtain orders for protection and things of that sort.
Tasha Miniker from the Arizona Coalition to End Sexual and Domestic Violence says it's important to have culturally specific services.
And when people have experienced trauma, it can be helpful for them to speak to someone who speaks the same language as them, who understands their culture. It can help them on the healing process. It can create a safer space for them.
In Tucson, Micah Bledsoe, Cronkite News.